continuing, and that's why I brought out Salaki. That's why I brought out the scripture about you know, and revelations about this chip, because when you pay attention to what they're doing, they're gearing and pushing everything to a society based on this chip. Everything is gonna be monitored now. Like I was just literally talking to the brothers at camp, and we was talking about how like back in the, did you see how Esau actually made everybody conform to a cell phone? Because if you ever seen any movies, like it's harder to track a landline. You know what I mean? Like that's why you'll see people that used to be doing criminal activity. They'll go to a payphone. I mean, now because you got to remember, like you got agencies and they got equipment. You know, shit, it's probably equipment that you got regular people that can go get. You know what I mean? Anybody that know about electronics, just like you got people that steal signals from like the police scanners and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you got to remember these cell phones. All it is invisible signals. You know what I mean? Just like with the internet and all this, none of this is new. Esau didn't create shit. I mean, you know, and it probably. I mean, when you take the time to really go and research, like I said, like when the brother from ancient days, the brother Barak brought out how it was a Jake that actually invented the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, so at the end, I mean, it says in Scripture, Jacob is the former of all things. My point being, this whole system they're setting up is basically it's all going to revolve around this chip. Like I said, when you go into that cloud, when you go into that Internet of Things, you got to be like it's deep. So that's why I brought that out because, you know what I mean. At the end of the day, they want this freaky, weird cyborg like these movies that you watch that you think is, so fictional. When at the end of the day, Esau is so conniving. You know what I mean? It's like witchcraft he's doing. It's like he put like when he let you see these things on TV, he's basically putting it in your subconscious. So when you actually see it in real life, you ain't gonna be shocked. You get what I'm saying? Slovakia. Aging population has created even greater drive for the development of robots to help care for fragile older people. Japan is already en route to develop Slovakia en route to deliver robot assisted care with examples such as the Seacom My Spoon automatic feeding robot. Yeah, and I can see some shit like that because remember that guy that just died? What's his name? Hawkins, Stephen Hawkins. Remember he was in the wheelchair and he had the the wheelchair that talked. He could just move something. It talked. You don't know if that man had a chip or nothing, man. Like real talk. And then yet still they still want to say that this man was just so fucking brilliant. But that's one thing about that dude Stephen Hawkins. He used to say a lot. I mean, he used to go into about how this place could be destroyed. So, but that was a judgment anyway. Think about that. The Most High put him in a body like that. You don't know who that man was in his past life. You know what I mean? Like that's the spirit too. Because we was just talking about how judgments. I had a 2/3. This is a 2/3 that I'll be around. And the thing is, I be hoping that the Most High. Yeah, I listened to a brother sit up there and say this one day. You be careful of how you judge, who you put curses on and whatnot, because you don't know who is who. So you know what I'm saying. Like for instance, the brother, well, the guy I know, he's aware of certain things. He's more awake than a. But I mean, like I said, like come on, like right now, it's surprising to a lot of brothers in the truth. You got all these jakes that's talking about, oh yeah, the Illuminati and this government thing with the Nipsey Hussle shit. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, now I know Apostle Tahar was going into how he's supposed to have been. He might have been a Hamite. I like to say I think he was an Israelite through the spirit because at the end of the day, he was trying to help Jake. You know what I mean? Like. Now that don't necessarily mean nothing, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I mean, just like Esau could rock a beard, you know what I mean? It just, I ain't never seen a man dance or nothing, you know what I mean? But I've seen certain things he did, you know what I mean? He did a lot of things like Jake. Like one time he was going to do something. They was pulling up somewhere and the security tried to stop him, and he tried to stop Nipsey Hussle security, and Nipsey Hussle slapped the shit out of the dude, the security guard. So, you know what I mean? Like, just little, how Jake do ignorant shit. It's just little things. And I felt that I think he was an Israelite. At the end of the day, he was still a wicked ass nigga, and that was judgment. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, but with that though, with that said, I mean, his death did stop them gangs from fighting. I mean, they supposed to do the truce. So, But all through the will and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh. Um, but like I said, I'm gonna have to name this various topics because I'm going all over the place. Salakia for that. But my point when I was originally speaking on about how the dude Stephen Hawkins, he probably had one of these robots. It says Japan is already en route to deliver robot assisted care with examples such as the Seacom MySpoon automatic feeding robot, the Senho electric bathtub robot that automatically washes and rinses. Wow. Mitsubishi's Wakamura robot for monitoring, delivering messages, and reminding about medicine. And remember that movie Upgrade? I don't know if you the brothers see it, but I suggest if you haven't to go check it out. That's crazy because it's a robot in there that was administering his medicine, and he was trying to actually. That's what I say. Like this is not a very smart idea. He was trying to get the robot to actually kill him because he was a paraplegic. So he kept on telling the robot to keep on injecting him, and it was doing it at first until it knew how much actually the medicine would actually make him overdose. You know what I mean? So it stopped. When he got to like the maximum amount before he would like die. So that's not far fetched. You know what I mean? Like Rinkin's Riemann that can carry humans and follow simple voice commands. Europe and the United States are facing similar aging population problems and are now following Japan's lead. As with any rapidly emerging technology, likely risk and ethical problems need to be considered. Many of the robot applications for children and older people could be considerably beneficial. For the elderly, assistive care with robot technology has the potential to allow greater independence for those with dementia or other aging brain symptoms. This could enable the vulnerable older people to stay out of the institutional care for longer. For children, robots have been shown to be useful in the application for those with special needs. The natural engagement value of robots makes them a great motivational tool for getting children interested in science and engineering or for facilitating social interactions with older people. But we should have concerns about the potential infringement of the rights of these vulnerable groups. The very young and the elderly. Society has a duty of care and a moral responsibility to do its best to ensure the emotional and psychological well-being of its citizens, regardless of their age. Looking into the future, we will see many robots assisting in the task of care, but we must be careful to lead the practice of care to the humans. But at the same time, the way Esau wants it, you know what I'm saying? Like I was just in McDonald's yesterday, and through the spirit, I said this is gonna be a really wild summer. Now, I'm from Cleveland. Our campus located in Cleveland, and you got the east side and you got the west side, and the west side is more diverse. You got a lot of the northern tribe over there. You got Esau over there. You got all pretty much nationalities. I mean, I've seen Hamites over there. It's just everybody over there. And on the east side is more so typically Jake. So therefore more of the ghettos are on the east side. Don't get me wrong, you got poor neighborhoods on the west too, but like I said, you got that diversity. You know what I'm saying? And I bought the west side because I got not being circumspect, not walking with wisdom. I got in some trouble dealing with my demon. So anyhow, I got to go to this little stupid ass class over there. So I go like I'll probably be there. You try to, they was instilled in me. I ain't gonna say I'm always early, but I try to get to places early. So I'm like an hour early. So I took the time to, try and study and whatnot while I'm sitting in this McDonald's. They got Wi-Fi and all that. I'm sitting, drinking some coffee, just waiting until the class start. And now this area, like I said, is typically, all the rough housing, well, not rough housing, but all the wild shit usually happen on the east side. I mean, don't get me wrong, ghettos everywhere and gangsters can be anywhere, but at the same time, you rarely catch stuff, on this west side. Now, that we in McDonald's and a female came in there and basically, it's just starting to warm up, and you know how it is with Jake and that warm weather, motherfuckers get to act, the 2/3 niggas start acting like niggas. So this Jake chick went in there and she basically maced like most of the maced most of the motherfucking McDonald's employees. One of the employees, so it was crazy, you know what I mean? And then they get to talk about this West Side shit, and I'm laughing, but at the same time, it was just that quick of a judgment. But my point being, based on seeing that, I just in the spirit got a feeling it's gonna be a really wild fucking summer, and where it's gonna be a lot of people gonna get killed. Lord willing, ain't none of the brethren But at the same time, whatever the Most High God, Yahweh by Yashim Yahweh Shai's will is His will. Who's to say? No man knows the time and the day when the Most High is going to require thy soul. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. So, Salakia, I ain't mean to digress. Oh, this is a good chapter because the next subtitle says robots and armed conflict and policing. So I'm gonna stop there and then start it over.